Alright, welcome to the live stream, everybody. Hello, hello. Animagination Studios, what's up? Welcome, Lukakrai, hello, Khengi, hello, hello. We're opening today in the dual live screen because, yay, look at the meta. Isn't it so healthy? No, it's not healthy at all. Grand Capra, hello. James C. I'm not even going to try. Yo. Look, it's been so long. I know. I will assume the god is referencing me, of course. Alright, so, having depressed ourselves from the outset with the state of the meta in the dual live, let's do our usual and jump into the shop and pull some boosters. Let's see if we can get a Gumiho. If we can, we'll make a deck with it. If not, and we won't, then we'll do other things instead. Sabarosona, hello. Kirito, hello. Missed VGC. Video game cats? I don't know. James, I test a deck. You can if you want. Yes, absolutely. We'll pull some booster packs and we'll jump into some sub-battles, some deck review, and some tournament talk if anybody needs some clarification on the tournament this weekend. Mana Floater. We're not really interested in any of the actual cards. We're really just looking for the bonuses here. I think the only 5-star I don't have so far is a Master of Defense, and that's kind of a Luke, in before Arc gets 6 Gumihos. God, wouldn't that be nice? No, I never get luck pulling booster packs. Like, ever. It takes me like 2,000 gems to get one 5-star card that I'm looking for. Not even a bonus, just a standard 5-star. Well, we got 2 more chances to even get a booster, a bonus rather. So, Khengi is still 0.001% for Gumiho. Yes, basically, unless you spend real money on it, you're just not gonna get her. Kobold Pickpocket +1. All right, great. I mean, it's a mutant, I guess. I could possibly sell it to a collector. Impossible unless you're very lucky. Yes, or spend real money. If you're willing to spend 60 bucks, you can pick her up. But holy crap, why would you spend more on a single card than you could get from an entire video game? Cute baby bird. Okay, so nothing great. Not that we were really expecting anything. Scam Cat, do something nice. No. Seriously, yeah. Okay, oh, sure, I'll give you my Nevia -1 for a bloody ultimate wave of life. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, Scamcat. Goodbye forever. You shall not be missed. Bunch of gold. British scone. Very nice, thank you. I do enjoy a scone. Cheese scone, for preference. And a friend request from Abhiskril. Okay, so the rule is, if you send me a friend request while I'm live streaming, I will guarantee to add you to my friends list. If you send one outside of then, I probably won't, just because of things. So, Miss Zero, 17 days. You're hanging around in here, miss, so I won't delete you, but, so let's get rid of Twilight. I apologize, Twilight. If you would like me to re-add you, send me another friend request. Long time no see indeed. Arya, hey Ark, welcome. And yes, Abby Skrill using the I always think of him as Splinter. I know that's not his name. What is his name? Grew up on Ninja Turtles, so I think of him as Splinter. Ictaris, that's his name, Ictaris. Yeah. Okay. You can't be long here, so glad to hear words from you. Okay, well, nice to have you while you're here. All right, so we got, yay, Kobold Pickpocket. Wah, wah, wah. Miss, you're logging in tomorrow for making your deck? Okay, good. Well, then I definitely won't delete you just yet. Arya, see you tomorrow. Okie dokie. See you. Thanks for stopping by. Beric, hello. Welcome. Do you have a deck that you would like us to review today? I switch over to this Varum one. I was trying out an aggro deck that Khengi had posted just before the live stream began. See how it ran. It's very nice. It's very nice. Should be. The original inspiration was Sabrosona, and then Khengi tweaked it. So 2 excellent players there. All right, that's looking a little bit better in terms of meta. Still a couple of Liliths up there, though. Ugh. Okay, so Next up, we can go over any tournament talk rules if anybody is unsure about what's happening about the tournament next week, but I think everyone's kind of caught up on that. If you have a deck that you would like me, and of course the chat, to review, send me the deck code and we'll take a look at that now, give you some pointers on what you might want to do to improve it. Or if you would just like to show off a really good deck, that's also fine too. And then sub-battles, of course. If you would like to get involved in a sub-battle where somebody in the chat fights somebody else in the chat, and then I spectate and commentate over the top of it, post your in-game name in the chat down below or to the side, wherever it happens to be for you. Khengi, is he argues my new deck? Yes! Well, you posted it. I always try out every new deck that everybody posts in the deck building thing just to get a feel for how it runs. It's very nice. It's very good. Although, I must admit, the first time I ran it, I came up against a guy with Goblin Shredder, Doppelganger Trauma, basically everything he needed in order to shut down an aggro deck. It wasn't very fun. Karma, thank you for the gems. I appreciate that. It should put us up to being able to get another booster pack, actually. Yes, so one more booster pack. Luke and Mist can struggle with their deck building together. Well, we say struggle. They know what they're doing. Greetings, SWAT, or Karma. James, Khengi, I'm going to use a meme deck. Care to fight you? Please be gentle. Fair enough. Yes, Khengi, would you care to fight James with a meme deck?
Purchased the booster.
I really do want to make that work at some point, turn the tables. It's not very good, but I would love to make it work. Okay, nothing great in there, but hey, more cards means more gold, which is always nice, I suppose. Okay, so yes, if anyone would like to post a deck, do so now. If anyone would like to get involved in a sub-battle, I'm knocking everything over, but I will write everybody their stuff down now. If you would like to fight me, that is also possible, but it's a sleepy stream today. I'm exhausted. I got like 4 hours of sleep, so I would prefer it if you fought each other and not me. Khengi, sure, but what is a meme deck? Well, I'll write down Khengi and James. You guys can start. Unfortunately, I don't have any gems to give away today. Did not get lucky with all the pulls from the boosters. But sure, Khengi v James. They can have a meme fight. Mist, you've just been lazy building your deck. That's fair enough. If it's for the tournament, then it needs to get to me by Wednesday, 5 PM UTC. Okay, Sabrosona is up for a sub-battle. Good. Sabrosona, otherwise known as Elonisama. Good, good. Gambate. Berk up for sub-battle. Okie dokie. So you can fight Sabrosona. So let's say Berk, and then in brackets, Geek Guy. I'm so sorry. Somehow managed to misspell that. More tired than I thought. Okay, Kirito is up for a sub-battle. Nice, nice. Kirito versus SWAT. Okay, so SWAT, otherwise known as Karma. It's so much more helpful for me if you guys would just use the same names everywhere. But hey, okay. Luke, me too. I assume yes. Just add Miss Zero. Panicking now because you only have 2 more days. I know. Dun dun dun. 2 more days for deck submissions for the tournament. Who will be declared legend? Who will be granted an access to the invitational at the end of the year? Who will be taking away all that sweet, sweet cash? Leek, hello. Welcome to the stream. Would you like to get involved in a sub battle? I feel like a greeter at the door. Welcome. Have you tried our latest selection of sub battles? You will find them particularly juicy today. Yep, James, PS, in-game name is Gamer404, by the way, in case no one remembers. So, Khengi, make sure you have Gamer404 added. I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure you fought each other before. So, yes. When you guys are sure that you've added each other and you're ready to fight, let me know in the chat. Don't just start fighting. Let me know first. Abyss Krill, in a minute we're about to watch a sub-battle. And again, I would prefer if people didn't fight me today. I am exhausted. I've been making really, really rookie mistakes. I threw a surprise attack out against a Phantom of the Night this morning. I was like, why did I do that? It's not going to kill him. He generates stuff when you cast spells. So it is an old username 6 years ago, so time for a change. Khengi, damn, you just want to beat me. Okay. Kirito wants to know what SWAT's IGN is. Okay, good. So Khengi and James are both ready. Let's fight now. Oh, wait for fight now. You can fight now. If you guys are ready, as I say, just say in the chat, starting fight, send a battle request, and then I know to check. SWAT's given the username. Excellent. Magic. Hi, Arcadean. It's my first time seeing you streaming. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you here. Lukaku, that legend title is pretty good incentive. Might get me not to uninstall the game after this tourney. Well, that would be nice. The more people we have playing, the better. Looks like Khengi and James have begun to transition. So James activated first, so we'll spectate on his side. Magic, always use my Grim Reaper deck. My Clockwork Reaper, I love that deck. It's not really super viable these days, but it's so much fun. Gamer opens with a Book of Knowledge, which is very interesting. Khengi going to use his aggro deck, which he posted in the Discord just a few minutes ago. Out comes a Light Command Hunting. Always nice to see that. It's a fun card. We're going to see, I assume, another creature. There it is, the Newbie Duelist. So, a gamer's turn. He can choose to level up here, which he does. He's just going to take that damage, let it keep going. That gives him a massive level advantage against Khengi here. So, Khengi's played another creature, but he's got to level up this turn. This gives gamer basically 4 actions free. Using an Ornate Cursed Doll, fascinating. And then Crusader over on the far left-hand side, just going to let that Newbie Duelist continue to do what it does. Now, Crusader's just going to keep smacking into the Ornate Cursed Doll, throwing damage right back into Khengi's face. And there we go, 2 damage each time. Now the Crusader is going to keep generating its attack values and stuff quite high, so you can't really ignore it, but sure. Technician Dr. Peak reduces defense of all allies by 2 and increases attack by the same amount every turn. Alright, interesting choice. At 15 effective HP, she does avoid most HP breakpoints. Out comes that Ice Spear, that is of course going to activate the Cursed Doll again, which is going to hit Khengi again. And unless he removes the Cursed Doll, the Crusader is going to smack into it, which is going to continue to deal the damage. The Technician is still going to get a big attack boost if it doesn't die, which it doesn't. Khengi did not get lucky on the defense drop there, unfortunately for him, but it does mean that the Technician doesn't get the attack boost that she was looking for. Still, she works out quite well to protect against the Newbie Duelist. Out comes a Manam Holy Missile, taking care of that Newbie Duelist at long last. The Crusader now has almost enough attack value to take care of that Cursed Doll, which is just chipping away at Khengi's health. Khengi goes for the straight up kill, going to take that 2 damage, let the 5 damage from the Crusader go through, evening out the HP a lot more. Arrow of Revenge Mana variant comes out, taking advantage of Gamer 404's high grave count. And that drops Gamer down below Khengi for HP. Out comes a Backstreet Citizen, which is something you don't see very much. A dark variant of Citizen, gives back darkness rather than light. Out comes a Mana Arrow of Revenge, doing exactly the same thing to Khengi as Khengi did to Gamer. And it's Khengi's turn. Now comes a Command Hunting that's going to take care of the Backstreet Citizen. That Crusader is going to get a tasty little 6 damage off with 10 HP as well. That's going to be quite a threat. It's a level 1 card, so whatever Gamer 404 decides to do against it now is going to work out a very negative resource trade. He goes for a charge, which goes into mana. It's decent for balancing out, but it may not be what he was looking for. Another charge, that one goes into darkness. And a third and final charge. Going to let that 7 damage come out from the Crusader. Another Crusader comes out to block the Technician. Well, not block, but comes out in front of the Technician, Dr. Peak. Not really necessary, since Peak can't actually do anything at this point, but Khengi probably just wants that off the board. Out comes a Marionette, which is unusual to see outside of Zad. Well, it's unusual to see just in general. Zad Felicia, of course, summons them, but yes. Removable, though. Khengi has more than enough nature resources to get rid of that Marionette, but goes for the mana resources instead. Wants to get that quick kill with the Crusader. Double charge at the end. There it is, and the Crusader lands finishing below that level 1 Crusader, really paying for its cost there, finishing off Gamer. So congratulations to Khengi for the win, and well played to Gamer. Very, very weird little deck there, but a lot of fun, sure. SWAT, can I use a gimmick for the sub-battle? No, gimmicks are not allowed in any of my streams, any of my tournaments. It's just not allowed, basically, if you're involved in this community. Evil Bart, sorry, was in battle. Notification was ignored. Do you want a sub-battle too? Okay, I will write it down. Evil Bart. Cross out Khengi and James. Rai Senpai, konbanwa. Well, konnichiwa for me, but yes, konbanwa if it's evening for you. Evil Bart, is this tournament deck only? No, it's you can run any deck you like, provided, of course, it's not Gimmick, and ideally it doesn't run Lilith. We're not a big fan of Lilith around here. The Wolf, hello, welcome, welcome. Khengi was fun. James, no, my peak. Yeah, it's tragic. But it was fun, yes. Khengi, I don't count it as my win, though. Oh, right, for your aggro deck's win streak. Fair enough. Okay, so next up is Sabrosona, otherwise known as Elonisama, versus Berk, otherwise known as Geek Guy. Lukakrai, if somebody plays Gimmick against him, is it okay? Yeah, if both sub-battle players agree that they will both use Gimmick decks, or that one of them doesn't mind if the other one does, that's okay. But it has to be arranged between both of the duelists beforehand. You're not allowed to just bring a Gimmick deck. It's completely uninteresting to watch. Because a person with a Gimmick deck is always going to beat the person who's not running the Gimmick deck. Alright, so yeah, Sabrosona, Elonisama versus Berk, Geek Guy. So please make sure you guys are online and you've added each other as friends. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll jump in and watch. And yes, Abiskril, if you would like to fight me later, that is possible. Khengi, you want to do Gimmick. Okay, well, if you want to do Gimmick and somebody else wants to do Gimmick, then the two of you can fight each other with that. Right now, just waiting on Berk and Elonisama to prepare. How many gems do we have now? 2. Fair enough. Okay, Elonisama's ready. Waiting on Berk. I'll just start refreshing just in case they're ready. Oh yeah, okay, they're in and transitioning. Good, good. I wish they had Duel Links' system for this. Oh well. Okay, so Geek Guy up at the top with no mutants, Elonisama down at the bottom with 2 mutants. Both players running 3 colors. Sarah Hero up at the top and L down at the bottom. Looks like Elonisama starts. Geek Guy says hello. And will Elonisama decide to go for something defensive or something aggressive? Goes for defensive charge. Trying to build up some of those resource points. Wait until Geek Guy plays something and then I'll react to it, hopefully for a positive resource trade. Okay, so Elephant comes out unless Elonisama has a Goblin Shredder. That's an awkward thing to have to deal with at the beginning. It pretty much guarantees a negative resource trade on Elonisama's side. Out comes the Firebolt, so yep, the negative resource trade. Not that it's the end of the world at level 1, but obviously, you know, it's not something you ever like to do. Still better than taking the damage from the elephant. Out comes the skeleton. That will be simple enough to answer with a magic missile or something like that, but perhaps a hunt it will be necessary if no magic missile in the deck. No, out comes a mana holy missile. That works out very nicely. Even resource trade, and it's back to Geek Guy's turn. Both players working out more or less evenly for resources. Geek Guy, of course, with a minor health advantage because of the lack of mutants. Discard into the grave, so we have to assume that that's Ambush Vine and play around that. So let's see. Khengi, damn, Sabro, trembling in fear. Animagination Studios, I played Gwen for a couple of days and missing the end of the thought, but I hope it's positive because Gwen's a fantastic game. The Wolf, lol, but I've been waiting for the stream, so whatever. Nice. Animagination, played Gwen for a couple of days during the beta, and I'm not that good at it, but it is pretty interesting. Yes, it's an awesome game. It's really good. I play it a fair amount. Not as much as I would like to, necessarily, but it's a really good game. Very free-to-play friendly. Remarkably so. Out comes a Magician Masked Field on Geek Guy's side, which at level 2 is a bit of an unusual play, but not a bad one. Let's see if Elonisama can answer that quite easily, or if she's going to have a little bit of trouble here. The Anna and the Magician Masked Field, both at opposite ends of the arena, which works out quite nicely for Geek Guy, just spreads that whole thing out quite well. Free Summon comes out in front of the Fiery Zealot, and the Ambush Vine comes out in front of that. So, not quite ideal for Elonisama, though not the worst possible occurrence either. That Golden Bomb Squad, of course, or Zealot, is going to unfreeze itself at the end of the turn. Vampire +1 comes out, that's going to drain away that Magician Masked Field's HP, and the Fiery Zealot is back. So the ambush mine is going to go down to that. The magician mask field is going to go down to the vampire, unless Geek Guy, my apologies, can deal with them both. Either way, the ambush mine is basically screwed. Phantom of the Wolf comes out, which is very interesting to see next to a magician mask field, and the command hunting to weaken down that vampire. Enough of the magician mask field to take care of it. Geek Guy playing very, very strongly here. That Phantom of the Wolf. A bit of an unusual play next to the Magician Masked Field, but definitely a good one. That puts out, geez, what is that? 13, 17 damage out onto the field after the ambush vine dies. Unfortunately for Geek Guy, they're all quite low HP, so if Elonisama has a decent AoE attack here, she could clean up quite nicely. Assistant Anna will, of course, go into the cutting box, but that does give her a couple of turns of sort of free time to try to regain battlefield control. So let's see, she's thinking about this. Now she's got a strong resource lead here, so there's not really any bad plays to make. You know, Flame Emission to wipe that right-hand side of the field off. I mean, even an Earthquake or something like that would be interesting. So a discard into the grave to build up, we assume, resource points. The Wolf. Hey Ark, can a Bidhet deck make it into champion? I don't know what Bidhet is. Do you mean budget? If you mean budget, then yes, budget deck can make it into champion. Anything can make it into champion, really. It's not that difficult to make it into rank 1. You just need solid deck, and you need to just generally know what you're doing. And then once you get into the top 10, that's really just grind. You need to do like 300 fights to get up into the top 10. It's just fight after fight after fight after fight. Okay, so a paralyzing bullet goes out onto the assistant Anna just to cut down on the amount of damage that's going to be coming out next turn. Eleni-sama saving up for something, perhaps. Let's see, Sabrasoni just won. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it. So a level up, that goes into gold. Again, like a flame emission or something would be nice. Command hunting comes out. That's going to take them down to 8 damage on the field, which of course isn't fatal anymore. But let's see. Evil Bart, I bet he wishes he had Susano. Doesn't everyone wish they had Susano? Susano! Alright, Geek Guy going for the triple charge because there's literally no reason to do anything else when you have battlefield control. Just got to generate those resources up in case your opponent brings out something you don't want to deal with. So, Eleni-sama with, what is that, 5 cards left in her hand. Could go for a revive and then a double play. Goes for a charge on the first one, so no revive coming out. Because if you revive, obviously, then you're guaranteed to lose. The opponent will go, Susan, no! Then immediately kill it. Out comes Shurka. Ah, I see. Is this the deck that was a surprise last yesterday? Good job, says Eleni-sama. Yes, well played to Geek Guy there. At least we got to see the Warlords, my favoritist cards ever. Yay, Warlords! I declare Eleni-sama the winner. A firewall spell, so Geek Guy not going for a very sportsmanlike finish there. He wants to just completely erase his opponent from the board. But okie dokie. And that is the finishing blow. So well played to Eleni-sama. Warlords, woo! You are the moral victor in this one. And well played to Geek Guy. Congratulations on the win. Well earned. Very interesting deck and very well piloted. Khengi, damn, there's a new guy. Didn't think Sabro would lose. Yeah, look at this. All of these talents appearing. It's fantastic. The Wolf, are you doing deck request today? Do you mean when people submit a deck and I do like a review? Do you mean deck review today? In which case, yes. James agrees. Surprise! There is a new contender has appeared. Nix, hello, welcome. Khengi, not a single hit. So yes, welcome to Nix. Welcome, welcome. You just saw the rise of a new legend. Between Eleni-sama and Berk, we're seeing a lot of players that are kind of new to this particular community, but are doing extraordinarily well. Extraordinarily well. Right, Senpai. Finally, Eleni-chan loses. Eleni-sama, your reputation has grown to such a point that people are beginning to root for your failure. That means you know you're good. Alright, so excellent fight there. Very good. Next up is Kirito Marksman versus SWAT, otherwise known as Karma. So, when you guys are ready, I see Kirito is online. SWAT is not quite. The Wolf, okay, I got one. You want one to review? Yep, no problem. Let's say we'll finish the Kirito versus SWAT fight, and then we will take a little break, and we will do some deck review if anybody wants their deck code taken a look at. So Persona, the firewall wasn't necessary. It really wasn't necessary. It's not very sportsmanlike. There's Karma, good. So Kirito and Karma, as soon as you guys are ready, just send battle requests to each other and go for it. Okay, this showed dominance. Still Arc declares you winner because of Warlords. Yep. Anybody who uses Warlords automatically wins. Okay, that's a new rule. My favorite cards. They always will be. They've never been S tier meta. Well, they were for like a week, but apart from that, they've never been S tier meta. But I love them so. So, Karma up the top with the Perpetual Bonoba Hero and 3 mutants, and Kirito Marksman down at the bottom with Skuld and no mutants. Out comes the First Keeper Imp, immediately answered with a Holy Missile, so that is an even resource trade on both sides, but it does give Kirito Marksman a little bit of an advantage, since the player that goes second starts out with 2 extra resources. A Light Elf comes out onto the field, and that is basically impossible to deal with for equal cost, unless you're running Heavy Offering, which of course Kirito isn't. So, a Golden Garden Cat comes out on the side, which Karma immediately has to answer, otherwise it is going to start generating light resources. Now he does have enough mana here for a magic missile, but he goes for a firebolt, so that actually works out okay for Kirito Marksman. It's a negative resource trade for Karma, so not too bad. He does take the 2 damage, of course, off the elf, which is not ideal, and levels up. Karma follows suit, no reason to do anything else, and it's back to Kirito's turn. That elf is, of course, causing problems. Goblin Bomb Squad or a Fiery Zealot in front of it would probably be the best play at the moment, but let's see if he has those cards and if he chooses to use them. He chooses to go for a Leopard out into the center, and then a charge for the second action. Just going to ignore that elf, let the 2 damage keep coming out. He doesn't need to worry too much about it at the moment, but it will cause problems later on if he can't gain tempo advantage here. The Wolf, you have a deck code. Okay, I'm just going to quickly write that down for after this fight. 601EE55. Okay. Alright, so Karma charges up and skips a turn. Okay, no reason to do anything else. On that second action, when you have battlefield control, just keep charging. You got to get those resources up. Kirito Marksman brings out the... interesting choice. Goblin Shredder. So let's see if Karma decides to remove that, or if he's just going to let it chip away at his elf. He is going to ignore it, at least on the first action, bring out a Crusader on the far left-hand side, and a Magician Moused Field, basically forcing a big response here from Kirito. He's obviously looking at the gold and assuming that with that Goblin Shredder play, there's no fire flame emission that can come out. Out comes a PLA to counter that Crusader immediately, and possibly a surprise attack onto the Magician Masked Field. Yep, surprise attack onto the Magician Masked Field, there we go. So down goes the Magician, down goes the Crusader for a very positive resource trade there on Kirito Marksman's side. The Elf is about to die, however the Assistant Ana is unchallenged and will deal 6 damage, giving Karma a 7 HP lead. So charge and then a level up, one would assume. Yep, there we go, charge and a level up. Kirito Marksman, of course, ready to level up as well. That elf is guaranteed death, no reason to do anything about that, but he may want to cast a removal on Ana before leveling up. Chooses not to instead, goes for the level up first. For the PLA, good play there. A free removal onto the Assistant Ana. So that Magician Masked Field ended up being countered for basically the cost of a surprise attack, which works out very well for Kirito Marksman, who's taken a nice resource lead there. Karma obviously feeling that a little bit, decides to charge up. Second charge, is he going to answer that Goblin Shredder, or just going to let it deal its thing? He's going to drop a skeleton as a block. Generally not a great idea to use creatures as blockers unless they have some form of defensive capability. Which we're seeing there because it can just be very, very easily answered. So an even resource trade there, and Kirito Marksman takes the tempo swing by dropping an elf. So the Goblin Shredder will finish off that skeleton, and that leaves Kirito with 10 damage ready to go on the field, and Karma needs to answer that quite quickly. James, intense game it is indeed. Evil Bart, you know you're going to struggle when you have Shredder and your opponent doesn't use nature. Yeah, when your opponent's using nature, Shredder is a glorious card. It's a beautiful card. When your opponent is not using nature, it can get a little bit annoying. Still, it can be used to counter things like Crusader, which is nice. James, I know right exactly why I'm grateful for side deck. Yeah. Yeah, I strongly advise everybody who's involved in the tournament to pay attention to everybody else's fights. If you're going to adapt your deck when you're going up against somebody in the next stages of the brackets, you got to know what the other person's likely to run. So, Karma decides to remove that elf with a, looked like a Dark Firebolt. Kirito goes for the revive, and will they play something or go for the defensive play? Either one would work here. A charge would be nice to maintain a resource lead, or you could go aggressive, forcing Karma into a much more reactionary playstyle. Goes for the aggressive play. Goblin Shredder continues to chip away at Karma's life, and once again there is 10 damage out onto the field which Karma needs to deal with, because that's really not something you want to take. Khengi, you're good for normal fights too? Okie dokie, well maybe we can put you up against Evil Bart then. He still needs somebody to fight. So, Evil Bart versus Khengi. Alright, so Karma charges up on the first turn, drops a Mana Vampire in front of the Elf. Yep, there it goes, taking it up to 25, which is nicely outside of HP breakpoints, but will still leave it vulnerable to a hunt or command hunting when played up against that Elf. There's the command hunting, and that weakens the vampire enough for the elf to kill it. A double charge, one would assume now from Kirito Marksman, just to maintain that resource lead. There it is, good. And down goes that Mana Vampire +1, and the Goblin Shredder continues to chip away at Karma, who has now lost his HP lead, but is bringing out Beastkin Jane. A nice little card there. Fireball comes out, that's going to take care of the Goblin Shredder. And there goes the Beast Jane. Evil Bart, why do I always get Khengi? I don't know. You're just lucky that way. So, Jane is, of course, annoying. Her HP does not fall below 1, so you can't move her with standard battle stuff, and if another creature is summoned, she'll move it away, and so on and so forth. You basically need to use 2 spells in order to remove her. You cast 1 spell on her to turn her back into Beastkin Jane, and then you cast your actual removal spell on her to kill her. So a paralyzing bullet into a surprise attack, for example, would work, but it's just a very expensive resource trade. Well, there's a paralyzing bullet that turns Beast Jane back into Beastkin Jane, and then the surprise attack to weaken it down so the elf can kill it. There's a surprise attack to weaken it down. So well played there by Kirito. That is really the only way that you can answer Beast Jane if you don't have something like Aventur's Blue Spell Circle, and down it goes. So an expensive counter, but it still works out for Kirito because, as you can see, Karma is now low on resources and is going to be forced into reactionary play. So Karma decides to charge. He goes into light, which balances that one out a little bit, but he possibly hopes that for a little bit more into mana. That seemed to be so far where the majority of the removal spells were coming from, but I could be misremembering. Let's see. Evil Bart. You know what? I'm the new legend. I will end him. That's the attitude we like to see. Confidence. Yes. James is secretly rooting for Bart. Excellent. I would love to see an upset. I mean, obviously, you know, Khengi, fantastic, good friend, but I would love to see an upset in the tournament where a new legend rises. That would be a lot of fun. So, Skeleton comes down in front of the elf. Kirito's not really going to have any problem answering that. Here comes a revival, and I assume here comes a removal as well. Yep, there's a Holy Missile, a nice cheap answer to that skeleton. Could play aggressively again, just keeping the pressure on, or could go for the charge just to maintain a resource. Goes for the aggressive pressure. It's been working for him so far, so it's good to keep it going. Let's see if it pays off, or if Karma's got a trick up their sleeve. The car cry, 666. What was that? The resources for a second there. Yeah. Karma charges on the first action. Charges on the second. Is all going into light. That doesn't seem like very good for Karma. He's probably hoping for a little bit more of a balance. Works out quite well for the surprise attack, but that elf is still out onto the field and still causing a problem. So, Kirito charges up on the first action. I assume we're going to see, what, 2 charges and a creature play? So there's the 2 charges. Is he going to go for a creature play? Keep that pressure going? No, he's going for a triple charge. He's going to try to regain, just make up some of those missing resources now. Another charge into light. Good lord. That's not so lucky for Karma, although it is evenly balanced at this point. Out comes the light elf. That is almost certain. I'm predicting now command hunting into the elf for game. Let's see if it happens. Kirito Marksman, you're better than I thought, which is Skuld's good job. There's a command hunting into the elf. Yeah, I think we all saw that coming. And then a double charge as a sportsman-like finish. There it is. Sportsmanlike finish by Kirito Marksman. Congratulations to Kirito, and well played to Karma. Some interesting decks on both sides there. Real back and forth at the beginning, but Kirito managed to seize the tempo near the end and just kept a hold of it until the last blow was struck. Well played to both. The Wolf, thank God for your stream. Arc, school is so boring. I'm glad I can help. Okay, excellent. Alright, so up next is going to be Evil Bart versus Khengi, but we're going to have just a slight break here while I take a look at the Wolf's deck thing. And a friend request from the Wolf. Okay, I will add you now. There we go. Alright, so Blue Zeb, unfortunately, I'm afraid I have to remove you. If you're watching and you would like to be re-added, send me another friend request because I do remember your name. So what, still struggles with Piolet. Yeah, Piolet. It's just basically a must-have in nature decks. Too good, too good. Alright, so let's go to the review deck. Where is it? I can't remember which one I was using as my review deck. Probably this one. That old number 13 deck. Okay. So, the Wolf, 601 EE55. Let's take a look. And if anybody else would like to submit their deck for review, just post the deck code in the chat and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so, media glance looks solid. No bad cards in there, no obvious imbalances or anything like that. 3 camps, 4 colors in each camp. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 single target removals, 2 low cost, well, 1 low cost, 3 mid cost, an AoE, a utility removal in the Eagle, a nice level 2 drop in the Undine Cora, Imp, Elf, and Crusader for turn 1 aggressive drops, keep the pressure up, and an ambush fine for movement. And then Beastkin Jane. What I would say is that if you can get access to it, a Nerva +1 might be a better choice over the Undine, because that means you could drop the Beastkin Jane and the Nerva +1 at level 2, and you would have Nerva would have enough resources to generate up to or to block 2 extra spells and things like that. So think about that. If you happen to get a hold of a Nerva +1, you may even want to try just a standard Nerva next to Jane. That's up to you. But yeah, I mean, that's literally just sort of polishing for personal playstyle. I have nothing that I can say about that deck in terms of needing it changed. It's a very, very solid deck. Jane, of course, not the best card anymore, but definitely not a weak one. Sabrosona, you're up for another fight. Okay, I will write you down. Sabrosona. Bring the Warlord. You'll win immediately. And Lee, 601 EFEB. From the Hehe, I'm going to assume this is full of mutants. Let's see. Oh, I like it already. Vanished Thief spoke. Oh, yes. A pure share deck. Lovely. Lovely. Bravo. Bravo, sir. Bravo. I do love Lady Share. She's fantastic. And of course, yes, just tons of mutants. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mutants. You start out with 19 HP. Fantastic. Kirito, you're up for another one as well. Good. All right. Well, you can fight Sabrosona, otherwise known as Elonisama. All right. So it doesn't look like anybody else wants to submit a deck. So we will jump right into the next stage of the sub-battles. So Evil Bart versus Khengi. Make sure that you guys have each other added as friends, and then let me know when you're about to fight, and we will observe. We could have had more mutants, but at a certain point you have to ask yourself, do we really need any more mutants? To which the answer is always yes, more mutants. Start out with 6 hit points. Not technically possible, but you know what I mean. Luke, you might be up for a duel at some point. Well, let me know when you definitely are up for a duel, and we will add you to the sub-battle. So yes, Evil Bart versus Khengi. Evil Bart versus Khengi. So we're just waiting for Evil Bart to come online, I think. Sci-fi movies. Make a deck with Doom Machine Saint. The only deck... now, you can make a good PVG deck with Doom Machine Saint. That's definitely doable. I got into Champion a couple of times with the Doom Machine deck in Rookie Arena, you know, the PVG arena. But in PvP, you'd need to run a Jur deck in order to make Doom Machine Saint work. And that's quite easily countered. Khengi, I'm ready. Good. Just waiting for Evil Bart then. Sabrosona can't compete against my 12-card mutant deck. Mwahaha. I start with 13 HP. Luke, actually, can't you technically start with 9 HP? Not in PvP. You can only have 12 cards in the deck. Each mutant card will take off 1 HP. You start with 25 HP, so 25 minus 12 is 13. You can't start with less than that. However, if you're in PvG and you're doing your win streaks, then yes, you can. People used to use that to manipulate the elf guy. What the hell is his name? Ah! It's going to bug me now unless I check. I never use him because he was only useful in that one particular PvG kind of technique. Pillion, that was it. Yes, Mutant Pillion. So yeah, people used to use Mutant Pillion decks in Rookie, which were fun, but... Lukaku, oh no, I see what you mean. Yeah, 12 mutants plus Mario as a hero, so... Yeah, no, actually, no, good point. I hadn't considered the hero HP drop. Yes, you could actually start with 9 HP. Good, good. The Wolf, did you ever make a dragon deck? Yes, I've made at least one. I know that I made an Ultimate Era of Dragons deck. Although now that I'm thinking about it, that might have been for Duel of Summoners. Maybe that was for Duel of Summoners, actually, not Mabinogi Duel. Leak, except if you use Light Jur with Dark Mirrors of Truth. I'm not sure what you're referencing there. Khengi, Evil Bart is not on. Yes, I have noticed that. We'll wait for a couple more minutes and then we'll switch to Sabrosona versus Kirito Marksman. Lukaku Pillion, yes, thank you. James, you misspelled bastard who killed my wife Sarah. Yes, yeah, you know, spoilers, but yeah, Jesus Christ. God, that story went grimdark. I really liked the sort of the comedy, light-hearted aspect of it, and then suddenly they went all Christopher Nolan with it. So disappointing. So disappointing. Alright, well, it doesn't look like Evil Bart is going to be around, and unfortunately also it looks like Kirito Marksman is not actually available. Cannot battle or spectate, so I don't know where he is. But yes, Kirito Marksman, if you are around, please let us know, and then you can fight Eloni-sama. Leak. Oh, I meant the normal Jur decks are easily counted, but that combination is rare. Yeah. The light Jur with dark Mirrors of Truth. I used to run that. I used, I think, Doom Machine Saint and Doom Machine Finale, along with obviously, you know, dark Mirror of Truth, light Jur, light Feathers of the Phoenix, that kind of thing. It was fun. It was decent, but these days it's quite easily counted. Diddle-diddle-doom. Sabrosona. Honestly, I hate Sarah. I thought she was fine. I mean, she was whiny to begin with, and then she actually got better when she calmed down, and then obviously she just... So what, I highly doubt someone here didn't finish the story mode. Well, you never know. MHMH, hey, yesterday we fight as Arc, and I was drunk. Stupid game, did we? Who won? James, I can have another battle? Okay. Maybe you fight Khengi then, alright? So how about Khengi versus Gamer 404? You can have a rematch. Leak, that combination as in Dark Light. Yeah. Kirito, you ready? Good. Okay, but it looks like James can fight Khengi now. SWAT, you're up for another battle. Need to test another deck. Okay, I'll write you down. SWAT versus... okay, no, alright, so James versus the Wolf. Okay, so James versus the Wolf. SWAT wants to fight, Berk wants to fight, so Berk, you can fight SWAT. MHMH, you won in maybe 6 minutes. Fair enough. Lukaku, I didn't finish the story mode, too lazy, I stopped around chapter 80. Nah, I don't blame you, honestly, it wasn't fascinating. Okay, it looks like Eloni-sama and Kirito are fighting, so hold on a second then. This got very confusing, but to be fair, I did say Kirito and Eloni-sama, so we'll do that. Alright, so Leopard, which is answered by a level 2 Vampire, mana +1. Okay, so everybody else just wait, don't fight yet. Come back to you in a second. Kirito, so we don't... No, keep playing, it's fine. Everyone else, just pause, please. The noob versus Arcadian. Again, people can fight me if you want, but I'm operating on like 4 hours of sleep, so I would prefer it if other people fought instead. Anyway, let's focus on this fight. Eleni versus Kirito Marksman, both obviously very, very good players. Let's see how this goes. So the elf is blocked with the level 1 Fiery Zealot. Of course, it's really the best you can hope to do against the elf, unless you're planning, unless you happen to run Goblin Shredder, something like that. Image, never again drunken. Good plan. Luke, okay, I'll fight at some point. You can add me to the list. Okay, I will add you to the list then, Luke. Surprise attack comes out onto that vampire mana +1, taking care of it, and the elf continues to chip away at the elf. So, Elonisama goes for the level up. Not going to worry too much about that elf at the moment. Kirito Marksman, of course, has to follow suit. Beric, sorry, I need to go for now. We'll be back. Okay, no problem. So, Kirito Marksman levels up, of course. Now, Elonisama could remove that elf and let the 3 damage come through, or could just let the 2 creatures kill each other. Decides to let the 2 creatures just murder one another, and goes for the double charge, trying to regain as much resource parity as possible. And friend, hello, Walk. I think I'll load up my MD again. Luke Harkrai says it best. Brown! Ah, welcome back, buddy. We missed you. James the Wolf, don't worry, I'm going to take it more seriously. Okay, seriously. Alright, out comes the Golden Garden Cat, and Kirito charges up on the second turn. So that Golden Garden Cat is going to start generating light, unless Elonisama answers it immediatement. So let's see what she decides to do. Brown, it's been a while. It has been a while, a long, long while. Your name has come up a lot since we're having a tournament this coming weekend. Okay, and down goes the Golden Garden Cat to the Fireball, and a charge into gold for Elonisama. Kirito Marksman goes for a double charge, trying to maintain a resource... Is that a resource lead? Not quite. Elonisama discards into green, so is that to play a creature, or should we expect an ambush find? Brings out Shurka. Could have been a mist drop, which is fairly common to see next to the Warlords, but obviously a mist drop wouldn't really work in case of a removal spell, because mist wouldn't be able to redirect it anywhere. Okay, chat's scrolling by, but nothing I need to answer, so it's fine. Kirito Marksman decides to level up. That Shurka is just going to do its thing. Elonisama follows suit. Now, will she drop a Tarka, or is she going to be a little cautious? Let's find out. Okay, goes for a charge instead. Going to play it more defensively. Let that Shurka just sit there in the middle. It's protected from targeted removal spells, so let's see how it goes. Golden Shredder comes out. Oh, in front of the ambush vine, though. Pushes that Shurka out of the way. Saves the Shurka's life. Booyah. Alright, so the Shurka... yeah, it only cancels while it's in the center slot. That's non-targeted anyway. So the ambush vine... The command hunter comes out, and that takes care of the Shurka. So, Kirito Marksman with battlefield control, although easily removed battlefield control. Let's see what Elonisama decides to do. Holy Missile comes out, mana variant, that takes care of the Goblin Shredder for a nice resource trade. Elonisama with 6 cards left in the hand drops Tarka into the middle of the field. Once again, protected from targeted spells. And Kirito Marksman has, as we've seen, already used up the command hunting, so would need to revive from the grave and take a nasty little 6 damage in order to murder Tarka. James, that ambush vine is a lifesaver, it really can be. Yeah, I do love ambush vine. Out comes a paralyzing bullet. That's going to counter Tarka's thing. I don't think Kirito realized, perhaps, that that's what Tarka did. Possibly, I think he was trying to weaken Tarka for a Piole drop. But obviously, Tarka resists targeted removal spells while she's in the center slot. I really think they could remove that necessity, you know, resist targeted while it's in the center slot. That was instituted back when we didn't really have any untargeted removals like Command Hunting and Amateur's Blue Spell Circle and so on and so forth. Now that we have a lot of untargeted stuff that everybody runs, I think you could probably remove that whole cancels while in the center slot and just let me have this, Death Cat. Just make the Warlords great again. Need a cap with that on it. Command hunting comes out, and that will take care of Tarka because it is untargeted. But that is a bit of a negative resource trade there for Kirito Marksman, having used the paralyzing bullet, of course, to no effect. Elonisama goes for first action charge and a second action charge, which is helping her out HP-wise, thanks to Skull's ability, and a third action charge when that one goes into gold. Kirito Marksman's turn, decides to charge on the first turn, and the second we may just start seeing some control-based play here with triple charges on both sides. Yep, there we go. Triple charges on both sides, both players falling into a defensive control-based pattern. Elonisama goes for the level up before doing any charges, because if you charge into nature, you want to give you the HP back that you just got off the revive. Another charge, and that one goes into gold. One more charge, she's hoping it goes into nature, probably. And it does go into nature, and that's 1 HP back that helps to replenish the HP after that revival. Kirito Marksman's turn. Let me see. MHMH, how many fights after this game? At the moment, definitely 1, possibly 2. It all got a little bit confused. But we can keep going for a while. Golden Garden Cat comes out into the center of the field. And let's see what Elonisama decides to do about that. Drops a Tarka right in front of the Golden Garden Cat. And command hunting to get rid of it, which of course you absolutely have to do. If you didn't get rid of that Golden Garden Cat, it would have started generating lighter resources like crazy. I miss the old pre-nerf Golden Garden Cat, the one that would just generate resource every single turn regardless, and it would be a random resource, and it wasn't like tied into gold value or anything like that. I really liked the original Golden Garden Cat. Opened up so many varied deck styles, and then it was almost immediately nerfed. Bye-bye, Kitty Cat, says Virtude. Yes, bye-bye. See Kestrel's video about Golden Garden Cat being burned to death. James, by the way, if it's okay, I would like to have second turn, so please send me the fight request. Yes, yes. Gamer, I think you said you wanted to fight the wolf. So let's just put you down here. So Gamer versus the wolf. Sounds like a band or a tween movie or something. Gamer versus the wolf. Okay, so out comes the leopard, out comes the command hunting. There's a lot of command huntings coming out there from Kirito Marksman. But decent resource trades for him, so no issues there. Elonisama's turn. SWAT, sign you up. Yes, you are already signed up. You're signed up to fight Berk, otherwise known as Geek Guy. So please make sure you guys are added to each other's friends list. Alright, so a charge into mana. Another charge which goes into nature, which heals up a little bit, fortunately for Elonisama. And the last action will almost certainly have to be an answer to that leopard. What will she decide to go for? Bum bum bum. Goes for a fiery zealot. Alright, so that's a nice safe play. Either Elonisama can just wait until the fiery zealot is killed, which in turn kills the leopard, or on her next turn she can remove the leopard and get a solid 8 damage straight into Kirito Marksman. So Kirito Marksman knows this, but he's in a bit of an awkward situation. Obviously, when you're going up against the fiery zealot, you can either choose to kill the fiery zealot, use the resources, but that kills your own creature, or you can run the risk of Elonisama killing it on the leopard on the following turn and taking that 8 damage. So it's a bit so-so. He goes for a cheap paralyzing bullet onto the fiery zealot so that he's got the guaranteed both creatures will kill each other, which is the safest play that he could possibly have gone for. Elonisama really high for mana and nature resources, but really low for gold. Kirito Marksman much better balanced, although less resources to hand. Elonisama goes for the charge and it goes into nature. She's probably wondering what RNG's issue is with gold right now, but hey, here we go. Khengi, I have opponent yet. Yeah, Evil Bart left. I think you can fight Lucarcry. Because he said he was signed up. So, oh, sorry, Evil Bart, my internet went down. Okay, that's fine. We'll sign you up again then. Khengi versus Evil Bart. There we go. Okay, so Luke, you just avoided having to fight Khengi. Alright, so where are we at? Both players still playing very, very cautious control. They're within 4 HP of each other. Elonisama has more resources, but they're less well balanced. Kirito has slightly less, but slightly better balanced. It's still anybody's game.
Opponent chose to charge resource.
Alright, a double charge there from Kirito. Are we going to see a triple charge, a very defensive control play? And we are. And it goes into nature, which goes into 1 point of health for Kirito, which he must be very grateful for. Alright. Eloni-sama goes for a double charge. Are we going to see a triple? We are. There goes the triple charge. And that finally goes into gold to help balance her out a little bit more. Kirito Marksman in a bit of an awkward situation here. He knows that whatever he plays is going to be able to be removed by Eloni-sama. So he's obviously a little bit cautious about playing anything too aggressively and giving his opponent an even greater resource lead. So strong defensive control plays here. Kirito feeling a little bit more of the pressure here, so definitely needs to keep playing on the back foot. Just wait for Eloni-sama to hopefully lose her patience and play something so that he can seize tempo back. Berk, you're back. Good. Okay, so Berk and SWAT, make sure you guys have added each other as friends so that you're ready for the next battle. Evil Bart, you're ready to battle? Okay, good. Well, we've had to push you a bit down the list because we didn't know what had happened, so you'll just have to wait for a couple of fights before you and Khengi can go. Lukakurai, let's see, Virtude, lots of charges, yup. Lukakurai, that's why control face-offs are ridiculous, yup. This is why we banned duplicates in the tournament, because it leads to this sort of very control-heavy playstyle. That being said, it's still possible to see this sort of Kirito. This can't be happening. But it's valuable. I mean, whilst it can seem very, very slow and even boring to a certain extent, this is nevertheless highly strategic play. Every charge is calculated, and the moment when they choose to play and what they choose to play will be highly calculated as well. So it's very, very valuable for anybody who's interested in playing control decks in Mabinogi Duel. This is kind of how it goes. Real cat and mouse, real, two ninjas stalking each other in a bamboo forest kind of thing. Khengi is fine. Bart, thought your teacher caught you while you're playing in school. Yeah, that would have been bad. Yep. Damn, this Mac is still going. Yes, match, but yes. SWAT wants Burke to add him. So yeah, Burke and SWAT, please add each other to your friends lists. Don't worry, you got time. This is going to last a while. Now, once one of these people reaches 20 resources in one color, it's going to get a little bit fraught, because at that point you start only getting 2 colors per turn, or 2 resources per turn, not 3. So Kirito Marksman, for example, at this point is not going to gain any more gold resources naturally, nor is he going to gain any more light. So it may be worth his while dropping a gold or a light card so that he gets his full resources back, which he does. Out comes the Golden Garden Cat just to drop the light resources down a little bit, so he's getting as many resources per turn naturally as possible, which it is answered by the Ambush Vine, which, the Ambush Vine will kill the Golden Garden Cat if it's left alone, but Eloni-sama's got to kind of assume that Kirito's got enough resources that Ambush Vine is not going to be left alone. Boo, we need more aggressive plays. That's not how control works. If you make overly aggressive plays in control, you're guaranteed to lose. So, Eloni-sama, knowing that the Ambush Vine was going to be destroyed, decides to kill the Golden Garden Cat first, which of course prevents it from generating the extra light resources as well. Gives the Ambush Vine that extra 5 damage out on the field. It is of course immediately answered by Kirito Marksman's Holy Missile, who will no doubt do a double charge now. Yep, there's a double charge as predicted. Eloni-sama is probably going to keep playing defensively, but can't keep that up for long. Both players are now only gaining 2 resources per turn rather than the full 3. Khengi, to be honest, I'm enjoying this high-level play. Yes, it's very good. Out comes that Shurika. And more charge ups. Now, for a Warlord's deck, it doesn't look like... there goes the mist, excellent. It doesn't look like... there goes the Ambush Vine, which kind of pushes Shurika out of the way. That's really kind of awkward. I didn't realize that was going to happen when Mist and Ambush Vine combined. That's really quite interesting. But yeah, so as I was saying, Eloni-sama not running Counterspell, which is unusual for Warlord decks, but running Mist. There goes that Mist. That's going to take care of both of them. That's a good trade there for Kirito. Virtude, this is why I pack an ultimate in my control decks. Lukakurai, same. Khengi, especially since it allows me to continue deck building in the meantime. Yep, that's always nice too. So, Kirito Marksman has battlefield control at the moment. No, he doesn't, I spoke too soon. Down it goes. Eloni-sama's Mana Holy Missile. And a charge up, and another charge up, one would have to assume. There it is. All going into nature, which is nice for them. Kirito Marksman comes out. He's going to keep draining that nature resource of Eloni-sama's by throwing out low-cost creatures, forcing that ambush vine to continue to respawn itself. Eloni-sama with, what is that, only 5 cards in the hand. Okay, so she's had to revive from the grave. That takes her down to even HP with Kirito Marksman. Now comes the Firebolt, of course, to take care of that elf, and the Ambush Vine is going to deal its 5 damage to Kirito, taking him down to 23 HP. Another charge from Eloni-sama, just to keep those resources as high as possible. Still only gaining 2 per turn, whereas Kirito Marksman is gaining 3 per turn, giving him an advantage in the resource ramp. Out comes that Goblin Shredder, just to immediately take care of that Ambush Vine. I would assume 2 charges now. No, goes for a Revive in anticipation, and there's the second charge. Kirito Marksman down at 18 HP, Eloni-sama at 28. Enough resources on Eloni-sama's side to remove that Goblin Shredder. Goes for the Fiery Zealot defensive style of play, once again putting Kirito Marksman into an awkward situation of, do I remove the Fiery Zealot and kill my own guy? Do I leave it alone and almost certainly have my Shredder removed and the 8 damage come out? Very tricky. Goes for the cheapest possible removal combination. Double charge. There's the first one. And there's the second one, as predicted. So, the Golden Bomb Squad, sort of the Fiery Zealot's ability activates, kills the Goblin Shredder, both players back to square one. Kirito Marksman, however, has now seized the resource advantage, thanks to continually forcing that Ambush Vine and out of Eloni-sama's grave. So let's see what Eloni-sama decides to go for here. A charge that goes into nature, which gives her 1 HP back, which is nice. Berk has added Karma, good, so you guys are ready for the next fight, which should be roughly 3 years from now. Eloni-sama goes for a secondary charge. Will that also go into nature? It does! So there's more HP back. Kirito must be regretting at this point choosing the Scold hero. Eloni-sama has gotten so much health back from that ability. And the third charge, which goes into nature, wouldn't you know it. So 3 HP back for Eloni-sama thanks to Scold's ability. Kirito Marksman's turn. He's not got quite the resource advantage he had, thanks to Eloni-sama's triple charge, so goes for an opening charge, drops a leopard, possibly expecting the Ambush Vine to resummon itself, but it's not in the grave. And nevertheless, it worked out either way. So a discard into the grave, one would have to assume that that is Ambush Vine again, or Mist. Let's see what Eloni-sama decides to do next. Possibly a Tarka? No, goes for the Vampire Mana +1. A very powerful play there. And a Paralyzing Bullet just to completely clear that Leopard off the field and make sure that Vampire cannot be removed by a combination of Leopard damage and removal spells. Kirito Marksman now is in an awkward situation. That Vampire cannot be removed for less than its cost at this point with the resource ramping up, so decides to go for a surprise attack, which takes care of that. Now the Mist is activated onto that elf, which is actually bad for Eloni-sama. That was a very expensive movement tool against that elf, and obviously the elf doesn't care. So that's dropped her nature resources down a fair amount. Evil Bart, tired of talking yet, Ark? A little bit, I must admit. Oh, frankly, I'm surprised I haven't just collapsed face forward over my desk. My eyes keep wanting to shut, not because of the battle, just because I'm exhausted. And the constant talking's not helping. Still, if there's one thing my family and friends will tell you, it's that I'm very difficult to stop. It's very difficult to make me stop talking. Eloni-sama goes for another charge, and that goes into gold. Just going to let that 5 damage come out from the elf. So Kirito could switch into a defensive position here, knowing that they have battlefield control, and certainly goes for that first charge, which does finally go into nature for Kirito, giving him some HP back as well. Another charge, and that one goes into light, possibly a third one to stick with the defensive control. Could also drop something more aggressively, but doesn't decide to. Decides to stick with the defensive control method and just let that elf continue to do its business. Out comes Shurka into the middle. Lukakurai, anyone need it's an Arcadean. I would appreciate it if you would actually include my name in there. You have 16 of those. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to give them away, unfortunately. So, Shurka out into the middle of the field. Here's Elanisma Shurka. Amazing. Can Kirito marksman block it? Bum bum bum. The answer is almost certainly yes, but let's see. So, the elf movement is a little bit awkward there for Kirito Marksman because we know that he has a Goblin Shredder, which would have been ideal to place in front of the Shurka, but he can't place it in front of the Shurka without killing the elf. Given that Tarka is now out onto the field, Kirito may decide that it is still worth the effort to drop a Goblin Shredder, or he may simply remove Shurka with a light creature drop into the center and then a command hunting, or just revive for the surprise attack. Out comes the paralysis. Okay, so the paralysis bullet to weaken... to weaken Tarka. And then the Tailor Miss Shelley to steal it as a jumbled zombie. And then, good lord, the command hunting to finish off the Shurka. So that is suddenly, what is that, 21? Good lord, something like, anyway. Damage, ready to come out onto the field. So Elanisama is staring down the barrel of a gun right now. Really needs to throw out something like a flame emission just to take care of that whole shebang. Out comes an ice spear. That's going to take care of the jumbled zombie and weaken both the Shelly and the elf. So that 21 odd damage is shrunk now to 6, which is much more manageable. Elanisma goes for the revive, which is obviously going to hurt HP wise, and then drops a fiery zealot in front of Tailor Miss Shelley. Now, that's awkward for Kirito Marksman. He really needs to deal with that. Otherwise, the fiery zealot will just beat Tailor Miss Shelley without its ability activating. SWAT, I think Sabrasuna's deck needs more Parnog. There we go. Evil Bart, that's it. That's what I was looking for. Yes, the sudden swing. This is what happens in control decks. It's very, very slow. Ninja, stalking, ninja, stalking, ninja, stalking. Then Shuriken! Okay, out comes the Weakener, and that's going to kill the Tailor Miss Shelley, but it's going to prevent any shenanigans with the removal and the Fiery Zealot staying alive. The Elf does a meager 2 damage onto Elanisama, but hey, every little damage is a good amount of damage. Khengi really wants the match to be over with. Elanisama going for a double charge. Going to see a triple, or going to play something a little bit more aggressive? No, we're going to see the triple charge. She's going to let that 2 damage come through.
Opponent's turn begins.
Okay. It must be said that for a Warlords deck, Elanisama is surviving remarkably well. Warlords are like C tier at best. At best, they're C tier. So it's very impressive that Elanisama is still managing to hold her own, even whilst using basically 2 dead cards. Sabrasuna, make Warlords work is hard. Yeah, Warlords are very difficult to run. Very difficult to run. So what, I could have done something productive with my life in these 30 minutes. You could have done, but let's be honest with ourselves, you weren't going to, were you? Be honest with yourself, SWAT. What have you truly done that has made an impact in the world in the last 10 years? Let's really analyze ourselves here. In fact, let's not, because I don't think any of us could answer that in a positive way. So, Elanisama's turn goes for the initial charge. She really does have to answer this, especially the Golden Garden counter. That's going to start generating light resources every single turn. Khengi, I actually lost to Warlords in monthly match. Really? Tell me that you saved the deck that you lost against. I would love to see that. I still use my Warlords all the time for PvG stuff. All the time. But I haven't run them in PvP in the longest age. Luke, that's pretty depressing to say. Yeah. Evil Bart, I met a guy who turned the castle trap into a beast and increased his beast attack, then one hit me like 20 plus attack. Really? How did he turn his castle trap into a beast? And Elanisama forfeits. No easy answer to that Golden Garden cat. Anticipating the loss. So congratulations to Kirito and well played to Elanisama after a really drawn out slug match, but very, very high level play on both players' sides there. Fascinating to watch for anybody who has any interest in control deck playstyles. Sabro, I can't win, so I'm going to surrender. SWAT, that hit me deep. Well, good. Animagination Studios, what's your favorite card in this game? In this game and in Gwent. Okay, in this game besides the Warlords? I mean, if we're talking seriously, then my favorite card would be something like Piole. Just solid card, excellent to include in every nature deck, and so on and so forth. I mean, that's like the serious answer. Favorite card, as in card that I am most likely to include in my decks, purely. Secondarily, favorite card, just like for personal, ooh, I like it, is Dragon's Guardian. I just love the artwork. And in Gwent, honestly, it keeps shifting. It keeps shifting. I really like the Shoop card, just because it's fun. He goes on an expedition, and then he comes back, and you can like, sort him out. It's awesome. Very good job, Sony. Yep. The Wolf, sorry, your Wi-Fi done, that's fine. Evil Bart, another like 2 or 3 turns. It was so fast, too. Nice job. Really like the gameplay, says Khengi. Good, good. The Wolf, can we start? Hold on a second. Next up is SWAT versus Berk, then Gamer versus the Wolf, then Khengi versus Evil Bart, okay? So, first up, SWAT versus Berk. And I have 2 things here. A gift from Lich, thank you very much. Lich. Oh, fine, since you sent me gem gifts just this once, Lich. And thank you very much, Gamer404, for the gems, I appreciate it. More gems means more cards means more videos. So what was I saying? Yes, SWAT versus Berk. SWAT versus Berk. Looks like Gamer and the Wolf have already begun, so that's no good. But waiting for... I said SWAT versus Berk, so... Look out, that face when I've been deck building for half an hour and still haven't picked a card. Yep. Khengi, then we'll go for quick dinner. Okay, very, very quickly. And Karma and Geek Guy. Karma and Geek Guy. There we go, they're transitioning. My life is saved. Not. Yes. Do I know how to save a life? Where did I go wrong? Okay, let's see. Geek Guy up at the top with 1 mutant, Karma down at the bottom with no mutants. Karma, of course, using the Bonobo hero as always, and Geek Guy using Sarah. Both players running 3 colors, nature and light in both camps. Darkness on Geek Guy's side and gold on Karma's. Karma opens with an aggressive Crusader. Let's see how Geek Guy decides to join us. Berk sort of sounds like Vert. A little bit, I suppose. Yeah, sure. Hunt against that Crusader, which is decent because it's still, you know, it's a negative resource trade, but it still evens out. And a Newbie Duelist comes out on Karma's side, so it looks like we're seeing an aggro deck on Karma's end. Let's see how Geek Guy decides to answer this. No easy answers. Obviously, something like Goblin Shredder would be ideal, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. No Goblin Shredder, no Goblin Bomb Squads, no Fiery Zealots, nothing really that's an obvious and immediate answer to the Newbie Duelist. So once again, negative resource trade, but it still evens out okay in terms of resources. Leech, you'd like to test a deck. Okay, well you can fight Luke if you like. Luke versus Leech, that would be fun. Wanderer Pal comes out, so yes, very much an aggro deck. Leech, opponent needs to be using command hunting. Gamer is lagging apparently. Galliumir, hello everyone, long time no see. Welcome, glad to see you. Nice to have you here. Ravine, hey. Wolf, no, it's not on stream. Oh. Yeah, it's not on stream because I said that you guys were after Swattenberg. Okay, so Wanderer Pow deals the 5 damage. Pow, in fact. Evil Bart, is there a mutant shredder? No, there isn't. James, oh sorry. Shame on you. Shame. Expecting someone else. Yes. You guys are after Swattenberg. After. Succubus Shemi comes out on Geek Guy's side. He's obviously running some sort of just silly, fun meta deck here. So let's see. He goes, hello, hello. Succubus Shemi of all things. Okay, so how comes that command hunting, and that's going to do with that? I get the feeling Geek Guy's not really bringing his proper deck to this particular fight, but hey, Succubus, always fun to see. The Wolf, I think we are next. Yes, you are. You're too excited, James. Too excited. You're gonna calm down, man. Take a couple of deep breaths. In and out. In and out. Do some Tai Chi. It's great. Wolf is scared. Well, same good thing goes for you. In and out. In and out. Alright, so that Wanderer Pow just continues to pow away at Geek Guy. Let's see what he decides to go with. Goes for a charge into Nightmare. Yeah, he's just running some weird shit right now. So Nightmare's going to come out. That's going to steal from both the Wanderer Pow and the Ambush Vine. Not enough to survive any incoming attacks from Karma, but let's see. Gallimir. Ooh, YouTube is better. Well, there's more people on YouTube. I prefer people to be on Twitch. It's a more stable platform, and I can run raffles and giveaways and stuff on Twitch, but nobody seems to want to go on Twitch, so... Praveen, how many people have registered their decks for the tournament? I think about 11, 12 people? I can't tell off the top of my head. And out comes a standard Wilking Burrow. Geek Guy apparently seems to have chosen a deck that just has random stuff in it. It's not even a +1 Wolf King Burrow, it's just Wolf King Burrow. And we've had Succubus Shemi, we've had Nightmare. Is running a very strange deck. Very strange deck. But I'm a bum. Evil Bart, my phone is 2%. I'll be back in 5 minutes since there'll be many fights before you. Yes, there will. So yes, do charge it up. Leech Nightmare is a real nightmare in Daily Arena. Yeah, Nightmare's a lot of fun. It's a really fun card. I took it into top 10 in PvP Arena once. It wasn't easy, but it was a lot of fun. Alright, so the Wolves and the Wolf King Burrow actually survive, which is quite surprising. So that's going to be the death of Pal, but of course not the death of the Ambush Vine, and the Leopard is still hanging out there. Geek Guy goes for a revive, surprise attack of course onto the Leopard. You just have to. And then a charge, which thanks to Bonobo's ability hurts both players. Gallimir, I see not too much has changed since I left. Same cards are still used. Yes. There hasn't been a new booster pack release in like 11 months. I think they're waiting for Duel of Summoners to catch up. So, yeah. Hopefully it happens soon, because I'm kind of bored with the cards that we have now. I've played them all at this point. Except for stuff like Camellia, which I would love to play, but I just don't have. I don't have 8 million gold. Lukaku, am I lagging? Probably, yeah. I've got a bitrate upload of 2700, 2800, so yeah, it's almost certainly on your side. Karma casts a surprise attack spell. Out comes the Master Templar Materio. That, of course, is going to completely wipe the field of all the Boros. Bye-bye, Boro. Master Templar Materio, of course, doesn't meet HP breakpoint, so can be removed by any standard removal spell. Let's see if Geek Guy has both the cards and the resources for it. I really don't know what this deck is. It's so weird. What was I saying? Yeah, okay. I mean, ran a really solid, powerful deck against Sabrosona and emerged victorious, and then run something using Succubus Shemi and Standard Boro and Geek Guy forfeits, which, yeah, fair enough. I have no idea what that deck was, but well played on both player sides there. Congratulations to Karma. I have no idea what happened with that deck. That was bizarre. Okay, next up then is, yes, now it's Gamer v the Wolf. Gamer versus the Wolf. And we have a whole bunch of things here, so hold on. Give from Keep It All, 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 give from Keep It All. Holy crap, Keep It All. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. That's awesome. So that's what, 10, 15, 20, 23, 26 gems. Nice. Nice. Is the match over? Yes, it is. Yes, again versus Wolf, blah, blah, blah. Berk, that was a misclick. Okay, fair enough. It was very weird, but fun, so hey. Praveen, they will not introduce new cards now, I think, because the makers of the game are no more. RIP, the makers of the game are not no more. It's DevCat, they're still around. DevCat and Nexon, they're not dead. So yes, there we are. The Wolf and Gamer. So after the Wolf and Gamer, we are going to see Lukaku versus Leech. James, yes, it is your turn. So after this fight, it's going to be Lukaku versus Leech, and then after that, it's going to be Khengi versus Evil Bart. Oh, wait, one of them had actually keyed in. Oh, well, we'll watch from the Wolf's side. Alrighty, Gamer 404 up at the top with the Christmas Sarah, and no mutants and the wolf down the bottom with the neutral hero and no mutants. Both people are running 3 colors. Out comes a very aggressive initial rise of the people, a 3 cost, bring out 2 citizens. Of course, if they die naturally, then that gives you 2 resources back, so you basically summoned 2 creatures for 1 resource cost, which is nice. However, of course, if they're transformed or vanished or something like that, they won't get there. They won't give any resources back, so that's good. Still, the eagle comes out, and that does in fact give Gamer 1 light back into his hand, which is nice. So now the spell is basically only cost 2 rather than 3, and the citizen managed to land a single blow. Let's see. Animation Studios, how did you like the story for this game? I liked it initially, and the first lot, and then when they released the second lot of story, it went totally like Christopher Nolan grimdark, and I could not stand that. It was way too... Leak, I've been trading gems with someone named Mythil173 for half a year. That's just awesome. An aggressive Taukaka, so we're seeing a rise of the people and a Taukaka. So definitely a dedicated aggro deck here from Gamer 404. Gallimere, dude, Lukaku is the only one you recognize. Daniel, wow, it's been a long time since I watched a live stream like this. Well, welcome. Berk, I can fight a game, by the way. Hope I don't misclick, that's fine. And then everyone's saying hello to Ataraxia. Alright, I will write you down for another fight then. Hold on. Berk. Alright, so I got a bit distracted from the fight. I apologize. We're back. Okay, so the Imp and the Ambush Vine on the Wolf side has managed to take care of the aggro stuff on the Gamer 404 side. Out comes the Shipwrecked Spirits, not in front of either one of those 2 creatures, which is actually good for Gamer 404. It means 5 damage is coming out on him, but the Shipwrecked Spirits are going to be free and clear for their 8 damage, provided they survive, of course. They can be quite easily removed. But it's difficult to do so for even resource trade, and basically impossible to do so for an even resource trade and an even action trade. Guys, got to see you both and the Master doing great streams as always. Nice to see you too, Gallimere. Glad you could make it to this one. Daniel, good to see you guys. Nice to see you too. It's always nice to see old faces popping back up again. Brown was in the chat just not too long ago, which was a real blast from the past. Alright, so Flame Mission comes out. That's going to clear out that Elf and the Imp and do a little bit of damage to that Ambush Vine. Nothing major, but enough. And that is solid 8 damage there coming out from the Shipwrecked Spirits. Plus a Flying Sword, which is quite interesting. Normally in these aggro decks, of course, what you generally see is Crusader, because it just continues to ramp its attack up and it demands a removal response almost immediately. So interesting to see a Flying Sword in place of the Crusader there. But perhaps there is a sneaky little material hiding in the back of Gamer 404's deck. Who knows? Gelmir, it's like the old gang getting reunited. Yes, just when we thought we were out, they pulled us back in for one last job. The Wolf's turn, and he drops a Crusader in an aggressive position, which, of course, you know, it's quite... it's really what you do want to do, although that is going to be a solid, what is that, 14 damage coming out? Yes, 14 damage. I'm amazed I'm capable of doing mental arithmetic given my exhaustion, but hey. Gamer 404 answers that Crusader immediately and levels up to 3, taking a solid HP lead. The Wolf has more than enough mana resources here to answer the threats on his opponent's side of the board, but it does depend on what cards he has in that resource camp. So let's see what he decides to go for here. He absolutely needs to remove as many people as possible. Goes for an aggressive Undine, which is an interesting choice given the Gamer does have Fatal on the board here. Let's see what his plan is. Daniel, oh wow, even Khengi is here. Yes, Khengi's... Khengi never really left. Not really. Alright, so let's see what the Wolf goes for. He goes for a charge. Interesting choice. Needs to remove... The Flying Sword does not go for the removal on the Flying Sword. Okay, so just accepting defeat, because that's going to be 14 damage coming out. So Gamer 404 discards into there, goes for a slap, which I don't really think is necessary, but sure. And an Arrow of Revenge. Just really grinding home this victory here. It's not very sportsmanlike, Gamer, but okie dokie. Congratulations to Gamer for the win, and well played to the Wolf. Well done, well done. Okay, so let me see. We scratch that off. Gamer versus a wolf. Well played on both players' sides, and interesting decks. Always nice to see one of those hardcore aggro decks. Shipwreck Spirits, Rise of the People, Tau Kaka, just boom, really, really hammering that home. And then, of course, a more control-based style on the wolf side. Didn't quite manage to keep up with the aggro. But yes, very nice duel. Okay, so up next is Lucarcry versus Lich. If both of you guys are online, do let me know. Lucarcry versus Lich. James, aggro, 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 aggro. Chant with me. Aggro, aggro, aggro. Separasona, deck code is the deck I was using, but apparently isn't working. Any recommendation? I'm going to assume that that is the Warlords one. 601 EFF8. Override. The wolf lol. Hard for me to play when I'm in class, but it's okay. I would have lost anyway. Well, you never know. Still. Yes, so it is the Warlords one. Yeah. Basically, the problem with this deck is the Warlords require dedicated support. Warlords are basically gimmick without the unfairness of gimmick. So the entire deck needs to be structured around protecting the Warlords. They are your win condition. They are your go-to. They are the be-all and the end-all. So you need to work in every possible protection against threats that are coming out. I'm trying, just going to take a look here, but I don't think I have any of my old PvP Warlord deck. Well, I have this one, the Mana Leakage one, which was good way back from, you know, when there was like a week. Yeah, I don't have any of my old PvP Warlord decks. I think I had to remove them all. Nice to see Samurai Quack too. Yes, thank you, Calimere. But yes, you need. There's a few ways of doing it. One of my favorite ways, which is a really weird way, which this hasn't been used in so long, it may actually circle around to being viable again, is to use triple Altar of Knowledge and 2 counter spells. And the idea is basically you throw out the Altars of Knowledge at the beginning because they can't be beaten for even cost. So you throw out the Altars of Knowledge turn 1, and then you just start throwing mana cards into the grave. So you throw in your counter spells, counter spells, counter spells, counter spells, all this kind of stuff, and you just generate tons of mana. And then before you drop the Warlords, make sure you have your counter spells in the grave, enough mana to activate them both. Drop down your Warlords. They'll have like 2 turns in. You ideally want to play your Warlords on level 2. Your opponent will have 2 actions. You'll throw out 1 spell, countered it. Throw out another spell, countered it. Your Altar of Knowledge will still be on the field. Your Warlords will transform. You'll throw the counter spells back into the grave to generate more mana off them, off the Altar of Knowledge, and then the Warlords can just do their thing. It's not hyper viable. There's no such thing as a hyper viable Warlords deck, but I really enjoyed that one. Let's see what we're doing. Lucarcry and Leech, they're sending each other friend requests. Good, good, good. So when you guys are ready, let me know, and we will jump into the spectation. Oh, you are ready. Good. Well, battle when ready. Battle when ready. Test your might. Test your might. And if you don't love that song, there's something missing deep inside your soul. All right, here we go. So, Leech up at the top with, Jesus, 5 mutants. All right, man. In keeping with his... I really hope this is the Vanish Thief's Book deck. That'll be so fun. And Lucarcry down the bottom with 0 mutants. Both players running triple colors, of course. Leech opens with an aggressive Light Elf, which is always a good opening. No easy way of dealing with that. Lucarcry, okay, here goes. I don't know how this is going to play out. Well, we await in eager anticipation. So yes, a Light Elf, always an excellent answer, and Book of Knowledge, a perfect card to cast when you go second because it immediately ramps you up to being able to level up. Leek going for a very aggressive output here, going to force Lucarcry to either take that 6 damage when he levels up or to prevent him from leveling up and force him to throw out a response. Luke goes for the level up, which is the right choice to make. Better to take the 6 damage and be given 4 free turns basically, because Luke's going to have the next 2 turns that he has to play, and then Leech is going to have to level up, and then Lucarcry is going to have another 2 turns. So Luke's basically got 4 free turns now. Out comes a Piole that's going to take care of the skeleton without any difficulty whatsoever. Galley Master with almost a year without a new booster. Which decks or creatures dominating the metagame? Lilith. Lilith is dominating the metagame. The most popular cards right now are Lilith, King of Prophets, Fabicia, Magician Masked Field, and to a certain extent, Material. Those are the 5 most popular sort of core cards right now. And Lorna comes out in front of the Elf. Leech, of course, has to level up, which he does. The Elf hits just pointlessly really into the Lorna, and it's the Lorna's turn. So Lukaku right now has another 2 turns to do whatever he wants to do. Could use them to charge up resources, regain resource parity, or could use it to play something more aggressive and put the pressure onto Leech. Yeah, everybody's just going Lilith, Lilith, Lilith. Yeah, it's Lilith. Lilith is a dominant card. If you want an easy run into rank 1, just run Lilith. If you want a pretty easy run into rank 1, then run Fabicia, King of Prophets, Magician Masked Field, and again, to a certain extent, Master Material. Those are the core cards that basically anybody can pilot into rank 1. Alright, so out comes an Imp, playing it aggressively. Going to let that Lorna kill the Elf, and it is Lukarkrai's turn. So, Luke doing a little bit better for resources than Leech. Leech's got obviously more light than Lukarkrai has in any of his resources, but it's less well balanced with just 2 and 3 in the other 2. Hunt comes out, that's going to take care of that Imp, and a level up, one would assume. There it goes. Okay, so a nice quick level up. So that gives Lukaku a big advantage here. He's already up at level 3. Leech is still lagging behind, not quite halfway there yet. So Lukaku is going to be getting 1 extra action per turn for at least the next couple of turns over Leech. Let's see what Leech decides to do. The Wolf, was mine and James's match on stream because I was lagging? Yes, it was. Yes. Khengi, okay, I'm done with dinner. Good, because you are after this fight. Hunt comes out, that's going to take care of the Lorna, which of course Lukaku doesn't really mind too much about. Lorna never, of course, raising its grave cost, so you can just keep bringing that thing right up. Wow, okay, Mage 39 years old. Nice. Let's see how that pays out for Lukaku. At 20 HP, Leech can't answer that. At level 2. It doesn't, of course, meet HP breakpoints at level 3, but Leech being at level 2 is not possible. Ouch, out comes that Gumiho. So we're going to see an Amateur's Blue Spell Circle. There we go, no big surprise there. Transforms Choryung, kills the mage at 39 years old, and down goes the little bit of damage there. Now, Lukaku has enough resources here that he can play something like a creature in the middle and then a command hunting to deal with that Choryung. Let's see if he decides to go for that. I do like Choryung. It's really nice art. It's very fancy. And of course it's Kitsune, so lovely. Lukaku is thinking about this. Again, a creature into the middle and then a command hunting. That'll deal with the Choryung and leave Leech with very little resources here. Goes for a target magic missile. Are we going to see like a hunt now rather than... We're going to see a turn to frog. And a Piolet. There's the Piolet. Okay, alright. So, slightly more expensive than a creature in the middle into a command hunting. But still good. Still good. James, need sleep. Good night, everyone. Good night, Ark. This stream was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for stopping by and getting involved in the sub battles. Be sure to chime up on Discord. Yes, thanks for by. Lukaku, I'm discovering that card. You're discovering what card? Out comes the skeleton, and Leech has made it to level 3 now. Both players running on more or less even resources here. Lukaku, of course, with a 4 resource lead into nature. Let's see if this pays off for him. So, also, yes, it's interesting to see Turn to Frog. We generally don't see Turn to Frog in these days anymore because most people will be running Amateur's Blue Spell Circle. With all of these, resist targeted spells. Most people are running Amateurs. Which, of course, is also a really good counter to Choryung because you can simply play Piolet in front of her, cast Amateur onto Piolet, and you win. Oh, cool. Acid Monster. I do like myself an Acid Monster. Gumiho. Ah, yes. It's a good card. Gumiho. It's not an amazing card. It's certainly not $60 good, but it is a fun card. Okay, so that skeleton is just not going to get through that acid monster's attack, and there's not really any point in Leek trying to remove the acid monster either, because that one attack value just isn't worth spending resources for. So Lukaku can basically ignore that skeleton now and just let the acid monster do what it do. Let's see. So goes for a double charge. Are we going to see a very defensive triple charge, or is he going to play it a little bit more aggressively? Going for the defensive triple charge. Lukaku, I don't have that Amantur card though. You can buy it from the cat shop for quite cheap, I think. Definitely worth investing in. It's probably the best card. It's definitely the best transformation card in the game at the moment. Definitely the best transformation, and arguably just up in like the top 10, top 20 best cards in general. Alright, so we're slipping into control style plays again here. Both players just trying to maintain either a resource advantage or resource parity. Out comes the Vampire mana +1. That's going to drain 10 HP off that acid monster. And a mana absorbing golem. Fascinating. Generally not one you see. A darkness +1 variant. So whenever your opponent uses a spell, it gains 18 HP right before the spell is cast and loses it at the end of that particular turn. It basically makes it virtually impossible to be removed by a damage-based removal spell. Swat, I think you meant the Gumiho. Luke, no, I meant the Amantur card. Yeah, no, I mean, he literally said, I don't have that Amantur card. Alright, so let's see. Luke performs charge. That Piolet, of course, is going to do what it do and take care of that mana golem, which is a bit unfortunate because, hey, I do love myself some unusual cards, and the mana absorbing golem +1 is very unusual. So yeah, it's a little bit sad to see the thing go down immediately, but so it goes. Holy Missile out onto that acid monster, so the mana vampire +1 can get his 8 damage straight off onto Luke. And Leek has begun to pick up a noticeable HP lead, although still lagging behind slightly in terms of resources. A surprise attack goes out onto that vampire, and Luke has 2 more turns to go. So could go for defensive control-based plays here with 2 charges, or could go more aggressive. Decides to go more aggressive. Newbie Duelist in a non-aggro deck is very interesting to see, given that it's basically pointless after level 1. Yeah, it's very interesting. Fireball comes out, that takes care of that Newbie Duelist. Down it goes. Let's see. Yep, Luke's going to buy the card. Leek, it's against command hunting to save Gumiho, but... What, the mana golem? Is a shield for command hunting. Oh no, I see what you mean. Right, okay, so it drags the command hunting away. I see what you mean. Yep. But I realize, of course, when you're bringing it out at the same time. Lorna comes out into the middle of the field, which Leek has got to be not too happy about seeing that Lorna come back out again. In games of attrition, you know, this kind of long-term end-game control-based play, Lorna is always going to give the player a massive advantage. Still, Leek knows that he's got a massive health advantage here, so he's going to play 2 skeletons aggressively, ignore that Lorna, force Lukaku to respond to these aggressive threats. Also, double special edition skeleton, which is always nice. Ryzen Pi has a deck. Alright. So 601EFFF. Alright. Out comes the Ice Spear, takes care of both of those skeletons. Leek's like, let's cry. That's very sad. They just wanted to rock, Luke. They just wanted to rock. Lorna doesn't give a shit. Lorna kills them and keeps on playing her little lute. Alright, so 9 damage comes out from that Lorna. Nasty amount of damage to take. Knocks Leek down from the nice amount of HP advantage he had, but nevertheless, this is what it goes. A Resurrection, 6 damage, so takes him down to almost even with Lukaku in terms of HP values. Hunt comes out, that takes care of the Lorna. It is, of course, going to be more and more of a negative resource trade as that happens. The Hunt will get more and more expensive. The Lorna will remain at its current value, which is what? 4, yeah. 2, 3, 4 card. Do love it so. And, of course, at any time, Lukaku has a very easy guaranteed discard into light with the Book of Knowledge. which of course isn't useless at level 2 and 3, because if you're looking for a charge and you want light, you can just discard the Book of Knowledge. Who cares? Guaranteed light generator. So hey. Out comes that newbie duelist again in an aggressive position, and it looks like a double charge perhaps? Yes, a double charge from the Carcry. So just trying to lure out removal responses from Lich before playing anything more aggressive. There's another removal response. Down goes the newbie duelist to the Holy Missile, and Lich goes for, I would imagine, a double charge. There we go. Lich, Hero's Command could have helped me there. Against what? I forget what was there. Lorna? Possibly. It's not... Yeah, it's not a great trade-off. For Lorna. Yeah, it's not a great trade. There's no really good removal trades for Lorna. Once you get into the end game, level 3, there's really nothing... There's no way of removing Lorna well, put it that way. Everything you do to her is going to get more and more and more of a negative trade for the non-Lorna player, which is why oh, here we go with the Amethyst Blue Spell Circle, which is why she's a big favorite of tempo players. It really gives them a very, very solid quick play card to play in if the game drags on a little bit too long. So out comes Choryung. Are we just going to see a turn to frog Piolet? Well, like a hunt turn to frog Piolet, I assume. Although actually it was 5 energy. No, that'd still be fine, wouldn't it? Yeah, needs 6 energy to cancel twice. Rise and buy 500,000 for Hero's Command. Any interest? The thing about Hero's Command is that it does have the potential in the future to become a very valuable meta card. Potential. At the moment, it's not, but it has the potential to become so. So it's a really difficult card for people to sort of figure out whether or not they want to use it. So there we go. As predicted, the removal into the frog, into the Piolet. Lo 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 lo, says Jesus. Out comes the skeleton. So Leek is really going for sort of a balls to the wall aggressive play here, just trying to pile on fatal damage, trying to force Lukaku to make negative resource trades. Let's see if it pays off. Luke has, what is that, 9 cards in his hand, almost certainly will be able to answer that skeleton. Let's see what he decides to go for. Jesus, cries Galeomir. Welcome, welcome, Jesus. Alright, so Luke obviously doesn't have any immediately awesome responses to the skeleton. He's giving it some thought. Let's see what he decides to go for. Goes for the hunt, which, yep, of course, makes sense. And then probably into a charge. Yep, there's the charge. Now, ideally, you want to play something aggressive, but it looks like Luke doesn't have anything aggressive to play, so he's going to go for another charge. Now, this gives Leek a real not an advantage here, but it gives Leek an opportunity here. Generate up some resources so that whatever Luke plays, he can counter. Hopefully get some tempo swing back. Leek, I need to modify this deck for sure. It needs a little bit of modification. I really like the mana absorbing Golem Dark +1. It's a really fun addition to the deck, but it's not really going to help out too much. It protects Gumiho from command hunting, but command hunting is just one of many things that Gumiho is vulnerable to. Honestly, better is just like a standard counterspell. That way, even when people try to... You know, if somebody tries to do the Amantur thing, the counterspell grabs it. If somebody tries to do what Luke was doing, you know, drain the energy and then turn to frog, counterspell will grab that and so on. Well, I just got like a bite on my head. Can everyone see that? What the hell is that? Just suddenly appeared. But yes, while the golem protects to a certain extent against command hunting, it does not protect against anything else that Gumiho is weak to, and she does have quite a few weaknesses. So out comes the imp, out comes the firebolt. Let's see. It's just passing by, not playing. That's fair enough. We're wrapping up anyway. After this fight, it's going to be Khengi versus Evil Bart. And then that will probably be it. So, the newbie duelist comes out. Leek should probably have enough resources to answer that. I forget how many times he's thrown out his holy missile right now. But at 7 light, should have enough. Unless it was a mana holy missile. Seen so many holy missiles today. Some of them have been mana, some of them not. Mana absorbing golem. Are we about to see Gumiho? We are not about to see Gumiho. So that's an interesting play there for the mana absorbing golem. Because that's just going to immediately die to the newbie duelist. Interesting. Interesting. Lukaku goes for the revival, taking him down to 1 HP. So he'd better be pretty damn confident about being able to maintain battlefield control here, because a single hit is going to spell his demise. Leek, at the moment, no doubt wishing that he had packed an arrow of revenge into his tool bag. Let's see how he decides to answer these 2 threats. That is, of course, fatal damage out onto the board now. 14 damage coming out from both of those creatures. Leek can survive the damage from one of them, but not from both. So he has to remove at least one, and ideally in doing so put himself into a strong position for the next turn. Let's see if that's possible, though. With only 1 darkness, that's not going to help out at all. There's nothing that costs 1 darkness at level 3, unless we're talking like Lady Share. And 3 mana, nothing really in there. So he's got to hope that he's got something in light. Goes for the Gumiho Choryung, which cannot use the Amantur's blue spell circle because not enough mana at this point. A discard into mana, which is interesting, and a drain off Choryung to take it outside of Hunt kill range. Not outside of surprise attack, but it's obviously immune to that anyway because of the Lorna thing. Nevertheless, it could still be murdered. So, bit of a tricky block play there, but we'll see if it pays off for him. Luke, oof, forgot about Gumiho's effect. Yes, good game, Luke. Maybe it's still possible to deal with. Still possible to deal with. Now, Leek looks like he's discarded into mana so that he can save up for the mana holy missile or a magic missile or something like that on the next turn. So yes, if Luke does not deal with this Choryung in one form or another right now, he's in a lot of trouble. So for those of you who don't know, that's the ability, drains 9 HP and gains 9 HP at the beginning. If HP is above 21 at the beginning of the turn, or if targeted by a spell, it transforms into the Dark Choryung. So let's see. Twishua, Sleepycadian, yes. Yes, Napcadian. Out comes a Hunt that's going to transform it into Choryung and deal a little bit of damage, because of course the transformation doesn't cancel the spell, which is important to know. So, let's see. Khengi, you can read by tapping on the card. Yes, I know, but I mean for people who are watching, who don't know what Gumiho's various abilities do, I enlarge it up just to show people. So let's see what Leech decides to do. Another discard. Does he have something in dark and something in nature? Is he going to go for the kill into Lorna? Hopefully survive off the... Well, and he will survive the newbie duelist. No, he's going for a block instead. This could be it for Lukarcry. If he can remove that imp and let Lorna deal the fatal damage. Let's see where this goes. Animagination Studios, they just gave me another Persona Now +1. Any good? No. It's decent, and there we go. The surprise attack onto the imp, and down it goes. The Persona Now are fine in Gates of Hell gimmick decks, but outside of that, they're pointless. So, the Lorna lands the finishing blow. Congratulations to both players there. That was a really drawn-out fight, right down to the wire. So, well played to Leech, and congratulations to Lukarcry. Good game, good game. Alright, so for our last sub-battle of the evening, since nobody else has signed up, and we're basically out of time anyway, Khengi versus Evil Bart. Khengi versus Evil Bart. If you guys are around, please let me know. Come online, get into a fighty fight. I see Khengi is around. No sign of Evil Bart at the moment. Leek, you gotta go now. See you. Okay. Thanks for stopping by the stream and for getting involved in the sub-battles. It was a lot of fun to see. And I really do like that mana-absorbing Dark Golem +1. Just for fun, really. Okay, so. Khengi versus Evil Bart. Khengi versus Evil Bart. If Evil Bart does not chime in Evil Bark... Khengi, do you ever spell anybody's name correctly? You called Praveen Perveen, you've called Evil Bart Evil Bark. Yes, Evil Bart is online. Good, 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 good. All right, so Evil Bart versus Khengi. When you guys are ready, please send each other fight requests and get to fighting. What is that? Why is that faded? It's weird. Anyway. Okay, good. The transition has begun. The transition has begun. There we go. Alright. So, Khengi up at the top with 1 mutant and the L hero. Evil Bart down at the bottom with 1 mutant and the Noel. I think that's Noel hero. Chain Revolver. So, effectively the same thing as Mari. So, 1 mutant plus the 4 HP drop takes Evil Bart down to 20 HP, giving Khengi an initial lead of 4 HP, but we'll see if that turns out to be problematic. So, Khengi says hello and decides to play more defensively this time. Not running an aggro deck, it would appear, with Gold Mana and Darkness. Yeah, that's generally not an aggro deck. You could possibly run Talkaka's Shipwrecked Spirits with that, but tricky. Tricky. So, Forest Keeper Imp comes out. I do love this guy. Look at that art. Oh no, he's dead! He's dead! Alas, poor Forest Keeper Imp, we barely knew ye. And out comes the Leopard. So, Khengi, without any obvious even cost answer to that, goes for a Drag to Hell, takes care of the Leopard. Let's see if Evil Bart decides to just level up here, or play something aggressive, decides to level up. Either play would have been fine. If you're running an aggro deck, you might want to play something there and just force your opponent to use up all their resources, or to force them to level up and then take the hit. But if it's not so aggressive a deck style, then yeah, leveling up is the better way to go. Tushua, 1 shot, 1 kill. I know, poor little guy. He took the magic missile right to the face, and it's such a cute face. How could you mess up a face like that? Think of it now with its 2nd degree burn, scarred horrifically on one side. Children screaming and crying. Out comes the dead, the summoned dead. So, Khengi running a anti sort of counterspell, Nedava, Gumiho, Lilith kind of card there in the summoned dead, which is a very, very good card. I do love it. So, out comes the Paralyzing Bullet and the 100 PLA just to take care of that. 6 damage is not really something you want to deal with immediately, and it gives Evil Bart a nice little boost to EXP. Khengi decides to charge up on his first turn. And for his second, aggressive or defensive? Aggressive or defensive? Aggressive or defensive? Goes for defensive. Well, actually goes for neither. Goes for a revive, which is quite interesting because it gives Evil Bart back his Forest Keeper Imp, amongst other things. Interestingly, a level 2 aggressive Magician Masked Field play. So, and then level up to 3. Let's see how Khengi decides to answer that. Khengi cannot level up to 3 at this point, not without getting like a massive AoE kill off, which he doesn't quite get, so this does give Evil Bart a bit of an advantage. Khengi only has a maximum of 1 action on the following turn, whereas Evil Bart has 3 now and 3 next. So Evil Bart has 6 actions upcoming compared to Kengi's 1. So let's see if he decides to, or if he can take advantage of that. He goes for an aggressive Leopard play, which is, yep, a good idea. Goes for a charge into gold, trying to regain resource parity. Nothing's going to into mana for him, which is a little bit unfortunate, but so it goes. Out comes the Golden Bomb Squad, which, ooh, is snagged by that Cocoon Trap. A very nice Cocoon Trap there by Evil Bart. The Leopard is, of course, going to kill that, and that's going to work out very nicely for EB. Evil Bart charges up and skips a turn. And charges up again, and it goes into nature once more. And charges up and it goes into gold. He's not having an awful lot of luck with it going into mana at the moment. Still, what is that? 21 resources there compared to Khengi's 21 resources. So let's see. Forest Fire comes out. It's an expensive removal on a single card, but let's see if it pays off. Out comes the Summon Dead once more, summoning an 8/8 Revenant onto the field, and Khengi charges up for his 3rd action. Evil Bart's turn. Let's see what he goes for. 666 says Rai Senpai. 666 says Lucar Cry. 777 888 999 1010 1010 Tintin. I do love Tintin. All right, so Evil Bart giving this some thought. This would be a good time to take advantage, to establish the battlefield presence if possible, given that Khengi will only have 3, 9, and 4 on his next turn, which is not enough really to answer any particular, like multiple threats. Let's see. Goes for a revive, which unfortunately for Evil Bart does pull some creatures back into Khengi's hand. Goes for the paralysis. Are we going to see a Piolet again? We are. Standard Piolet paralysis combo. Down goes the dead. So Evil Bart manages to retain a certain amount of resource advantage. Khengi switching into a slightly defensive style. Looks like here. Triple charge. Yep, there we go. The triple charge into the defensive. So, Evil Bart's turn. He can play something and risk it getting countered now, or he can also go for the triple charge, and once again we can slip into full-on control-based play. He goes for an aggressive play, which is bold, very bold, especially since it drains his few remaining nature mana resources. A charge which goes into gold, no surprise, another charge which goes into nature. No? Okay. Let's see. Lukakride, the Arcadean, which camp would you consider the most solid nowadays? The most solid camp is and always has been green. It just has some of the best removals, a really nice, Varum Kahan anti-gimmick counter thing. It's got the Ambush Vine, the Hidden Spiders, and so on and so forth. Nature has a place in almost any deck. Out comes that Forest Fire, once again, very expensive removal onto the Imp, but we will assume that Khengi has some sort of plan. So what, why play Piolet after the paralysis on the dead? He's going to kill himself when the paralysis wears off. No, he's not. The dead loses 1 HP every turn. The paralysis didn't take the dead down to 1 HP. Twishua, let us charge, brethren. Yes, brethren, let us charge. Shit, it went into gold. Animagination Studios, not to be funny, but what happened to the boob physics? Just asking. And you gotta go, have a good day. They were removed because Nexon was kind of swamped with a lot of sort of social justice warrior posts and things on various Reddit things for a lot of their games. I think it was Hyper Universe that kicked the whole thing off, and they started saying, oh, sexism, sexism, sexism. Which is whatever. So Nexon basically kind of just censored all of its games. So the Hyper Universe got censored, this thing got censored, and no more boob jiggling physics, and which is the biggest tragedy of all, no more Castiff belly jiggling. That's what I miss. So I don't care about the boobs. I barely even noticed them after the first week. But Castiff's belly, every time you hit him, it was the funniest thing. I'm so sad. So what, it paralyzes for 2 turns, as far as I know. The paralysis, yeah, but again, the paralysis didn't take him down to even 2 or 3 HP. It wouldn't have killed him, and it wasn't worth waiting for. The fireball comes out onto the Goblin Shredder, and doing it to goose. Alright, Evil Bart's turn, who still has a resource advantage, but it's all into nature, which is great for PLA and the Cocoon Trap, although now that Khengi knows to expect it, obviously Evil Bart is going to be a lot more loath to bring it out. So let's see what he decides to go for. Nothing has been going into mana, which is very unfortunate for Evil Bart's Magician Master Field. Luke, the dead was a 2 HP, actually. At what point? Because I was looking out for that, and I didn't notice that it had ever gotten down to 2 HP. But if you say so, then I must have done it at some point. Either way, I mean, there's no real downside to dropping PLA there. If you don't want to play aggressively, you might as well. I mean, you could charge, but if you just want the thing off the board because you don't want to run any risks. I mean, there are weird-ass cards out there that, absorb attacks and defense values and so on and so forth, or that are immune while dead or on the field and all this kind of thing. I assume Evil Bart just wanted to make sure that there was no issues happening, and he wasn't too bothered about charging, which is fair enough because he's already got 20 nature. So both players slipping into defensive control-based structure. Let's see. Alright, and finally he gets enough mana to bring out that Magician Master Field. That must have been really frustrating for the longest time. Everything going into nature. And nature seems to be his utility color for this particular deck. No doubt he would have much preferred to see it all going into mana. So it goes. And Imagination Studios, well, we win some, we lose some. Yes, and what we lost was Castiff's Jiggling Belly. What we won was... I don't actually know. We struck a blow for something? I mean, certainly not women's equality or anything like that, because to claim that, you know, jiggling cartoon characters are in any way derogatory or devaluing to women is insulting to both men and women. So we didn't win anything on that front. Well, all we lost was Castiff's Jiggling Belly. It's like war, really. Tell. Alright, so there goes the Fireball, there goes the Drag to Hell standard combo out there. That's going to be more expensive, of course, than the cost to bring out the Magician Mask Field. And, of course, costs 2 actions, increases the grave cost on 2 particular cards, and so on and so forth. So it works out quite well for Evil Bart. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't really seem to be running any creatures in nature, which I think he really wishes he was at this point. Well, let's see what he decides to go for. He could drop... Does he have a leopard? I'm pretty sure he does. Yes, so he could drop a leopard. Try to bait out more responses onto that. Which he does. And then probably into a double charge.
Charged resource.
There's the first. And the second charge. You think about it. There we go. There's the second charge. Good. And to assure, Castiff's belly physics will be missed dearly. I now understand why not many play him now. Amen, Papa bless and Papa rip. Yes. Yes, and that thing. I don't know. It's, what was it? Spectacles, testicles, left to right to left. I don't know how to do the sign of the cross. I'm not Christian. I don't know how to do this. But yes, rest in peace. However that goes. SWAT. The paralyzing bullet kills the dead at every level. Actually, I'll have to look into that.
No creature left on your battlefield.
Right. So Khengi, actually, just out of curiosity, we'll open this up because this is going to be a little bit slow control. So just for personal, just out of pure academic interest. So we got bullets. And cards. Okay, so PLA comes out on aggressive play, which is interesting. So, Evil Bart, no nature creatures, obviously, so no elves or anything like that to bring out. It's just going to bring out the PLA, knowing that even if it dies, I can't lose. Not a big deal. It'll still get, it'll still pass through. Casey, yeah, this is quite a long battle, huh? Yes, we've been having quite a few control sort of focused battles recently. It's quite interesting. So what does this do? This does 3, 4, 6, 4, 6, and 8. So 3, we'll take it down to 1 at level 1. Yep, 4, 6, yeah, and 6 defense ignoring damage onto the 8 HP. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Paralyzing Bullet does actually deal with that. Okay, Virtud Yaxi. Out comes Susano! Alright, so when I said he had nothing in green, apparently I was mistaken. He has Susano! So, a charge and it goes into nature. I don't think anybody's surprised about that. And let's see how Khengi decides to deal with this. Doesn't have enough for a drag to hell. The Firebolt obviously isn't going to help him at all. So this is a bit of an awkward situation. Discards into gold, which is quite interesting. Building up perhaps for a... Yes, Forest Fire actually is what he'll be building up for, I would imagine, because that's going to do the double damage to Susano, which will kill. Let's cry, says Khengi. Yes. Now, Khengi is having the problem that Evil Bart was having. All of Kengi's charges basically are going into mana, whereas all of Evil Bart's were going into nature. So let's see if Evil Bart actually manages to kill Khengi with a Susano deck. I think we will all be just... weirdly happy. Not that we want Khengi to lose, but for a player of Kengi's ability to lose to Susano is just what that would be wonderful. All right, so the Imp is out, the Susano is still out. Let's see what Khengi decides to do here. He doesn't have enough, even if he double discards into gold, he doesn't have enough for a Forest Fire. Charges into mana. He may just go for a triple charge here and let Evil Bart have this. So that's a double charge into mana. Is he going to kill no, and he forfeits. Congratulations to Evil Bart. Beat Khengi with a Susanoo deck. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a hell of a fight to finish the live stream on. Congratulations, Evil Bart. And well played to Khengi as well. But good grief. That was a hell of an upset. So, we have been seeing a lot of excellent plays in today's live stream. A lot of really good decks, a lot of really good players. So, it looks like the upcoming tournament this weekend is going to be a hot one. Awesome. Virtude Bart. Khengi was trying out the deck. Yep, that was good. Evil Bart, good game. That was weird. SWAT, wow. Bart the next champ. Could be. It's anybody's tournament. We've got a lot of very, very talented players in this tournament. I'm looking forward to seeing it, I really am. Even if there's a very good chance I'm going to lose my voice because of it. Okay, so that is 2 hours and a little bit over. So we will finish the live stream there. As always, thank you very, very much to everybody who got involved in these sub-battles. That was awesome. Some fantastic plays, fantastic decks, and of course a lot of very talented duelists. And thank you to everybody else who stopped by to view the stream, even though it was very late, or you were at school, or you were at work, or wherever you happen to be. I appreciate you. Okay, so we will finish up there. If anybody has any questions or suggestions, votes, whatever, please stop by the Discord if you would like to get involved in any conversations, vote on future live stream games that we may cover, just have a chat, find out about the tournament, yada yada yada. Stop by the Discord. Link is in the little chat box right there. Click on that, jump on in. We're all very, very friendly. And those who aren't are swiftly set on fire. Samurai Quack does that. He likes fire. Alright, we'll finish there. Okay, so once again, thank you for everybody for getting involved. Jump into the Discord. I will see you peeps in there. If you are registered for the tournament, please, 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 please make sure you get your decks and your 6 sideboard cards to me before Wednesday, 5 p.m. UTC. That's a universal time code. So I will see you guys either on Wednesday for a live stream, failing that, Friday for a live stream, and hopefully I'll see most of you in the Discord. Goodbye from me, goodbye from Samurai Quack, have fun, and be good.